Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another review. I'm deciding to get a lot of reviews out because I know you guys are definitely going to want to see these. But I've also got a few customs to review in here. You see back here and right in front of here. But this is a Jurassic Park 3 special because you can see I've got 3 dinosaurs from that movie. 2 of them are customs, by the way. Fortunately, I do not have the Spinosaurus, unfortunately. I need to get that. Like, as soon as I get another really great report card like I got this time, I'm going to see about getting either myself a bull T-Rex or the Spinosaurus. Because I need either one of those. Either one of those are great. So, as soon as I do get the Spinosaurus, I will update you on this. However, currently we've got the Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex Custom, Ceratosaurus from Mattel, and the Velociraptor, in this case the male. At least one of the males, because there were multiples in the movie. So I'll go from the smallest, and I'll show you up to the biggest. So first we'll take a look at this Jurassic Park 3 Custom Raptor. This is a custom off the Jumping Raptor for Blue. You see, I barely did anything in the mouth except painted a little bit where I messed up on the teeth. And of course for inside the mouth. But as far as movie accuracy, I think I did a great job because I mixed like a red with a brown and then I painted it over it with this black wash. It looks really good. It honestly looks a little bit worse on camera than it does in real life. However, on camera, the stripe is very accurate because you get some of the black wash that makes like little dents in the stripe, like where it kind of just stops a few times. So that's really good. Now, for this, I actually put a hunk of clay right on the back of the head, and fortunately I need to bend the quills in another position, so I might just take those out, take some new bristles and put them in as new quills because I'm having trouble bending these in the positions I want them to go. But it's only really most of them, like it's this top one that's the problem. But other than that, very movie accurate because you got the white stripe. I went ahead and painted the underbelly. You got the color, which is extremely accurate. It's a really dirty, like brownish red, and you got the blue right underneath the eye on both sides. And they do have red eyes. Personally, I think the pupil on this side is a lot better. And of course I use this raptor because it's got the ridge. Whoa, on camera this looks a lot like an Albertosaur because of that ridge. Like, if you look at it just right, it looks like an Albertosaur. But that is really accurate to the movie, because you get that, like, line going underneath. And, of course, that ridge on the snout is an ideal feature for this raptor. Painted the claws with a nice gray color. You see, you still got the scan code. And the thing about these raptors, if I can do it right, this one has a bit of trouble jumping, probably because I gave it a custom paint job. But basically, what you do, push down, and it leaps. Although this one can't go very far, even though that was kind of cool. But these really remind me, do you know those old like frog insect like things that you would push down on a certain part of them and then they would jump? That's what this reminds me of. Like, does anyone even know what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments below, like, if you know what I'm talking about, because those who own a few of them will know what I'm talking about, and will definitely make the comparison. Yeah, I really like this custom. Like, it's probably one of my best. Like, as far as customs go, I've made a few Raptor variations, a spring-themed T-Rex, a Halloween Dilophosaurus, this, and the Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex, which I'll show you later. And I'm working on a few others. I think this is probably one of my best so far. I like it. So here's the Ceratosaurus. It's standing pretty well currently. But it's just a weird thing about this Ceratosaurus is that the red kind of stops right here, and then there's a huge gap where I think there could have been more red right there. Don't know if it's just mine, but as far as the paint job for this guy, really accurate to Jurassic Park 3. Although I think in Jurassic Park 3 it was a lot more dirty. Like, to me in Jurassic Park 3 it looked really green. Like, a lot greener than this. Like, the colors were a lot muted. But as far as recreating the Hasbro toy, this is brilliant, because that toy was awful. And of course, I don't collect most of those figures, except for the Indominus Rex right up there. See, this is part of the Roarvors line, so when you push down on this little piece, it opens the jaw. Gotta say, the teeth look really good. The entire face of the Ceratosaurus is great. Because, like, it's got a good look to it with the horns above the eyes and this big horn on the front. And as far as detail-wise, Mattel have done a great job with these early figures. However, this was actually wave 2 of the Roarvors, so instead of having the mouth open and then you would push the button to close, it's the other way around. And I know a lot of people have pointed that out about this Ceratosaurus. The only problem with this figure is that, as you've seen, it actually has some trouble standing. That's probably because the feet are so unbelievably small. It's like, there it goes. Also, forgot to mention this, but where the batteries are, you got this sound chamber that looks really weird. It's like it's got some sort of parasitic disease. No claws are painted on this one, unfortunately. In fact, I'm thinking about just going in and painting the claws myself, since they didn't do it on this one. They did it on the Allosaurus. They painted the toenails. They did it on the Metrocanthosaurus and on the Albertosaurus and Carnotaurus. So, don't know why this and Baryonyx don't have that. It's just a little bit misleading. But you do have a long tail, which, as long as it's on like a decently flat surface, this ain't going anywhere. Whoops, except for right there. Yeah. Can I get you to stand? There you go. Just the feet need to be kind of close together. The arm side, I think these are plenty accurate to Ceratosaurus arms. And, I love all the spiky detail on the back, just like a crocodile. And fun fact, scientists have actually said that the tail in the Ceratosaurus bone... I just got another notification, so my phone vibrated. Like, they say the tail, the bones in the tail are incredibly strong, just like that of a crocodile. So, scientists have said that if Ceratosaurus could swim, it would have been an excellent swimmer. I highly doubt that it would be able to swim. I think Ceratosaurus is, to be honest, a more terrestrial predator. But it's science. And also, of course, this is an InGen variation, so it's not 100% accurate to the real thing. As far as these Mattel toys go, I believe this is one of my first Roarvors, maybe even my first. And I like it. Gotta say, I like it. Unfortunately, the batteries don't work, as you've clearly seen. But if you want to check out some other reviews, than you can, so you can see the sounds that it makes. Alright, here's the biggest one of this Jurassic Park 3 collection. This one I actually got done fairly recently. This is the custom Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex. I might just have to add a couple more paint apps to it, but right now it looks exceptionally good. Of course, this was a custom of the battle damaged T-Rex, so you just push on this button on the back of the neck and the mouth opens. And of course, this is not to be confused with the extreme chomping T-Rex, because this came with the Ceratosaurus. I did, of course, paint the nails. I painted them in a nice black color, along with the fingernails. It's just these arms are where a lot of paint tends to come off. The head looks really nice, because like it's got a bunch of like little dots of brown paint. And it's got some markings of brown. It's like some stripes. Then the back of it is extremely accurate, because you get this like nice like brown and green going down the back, which I actually did take a look at the T-Rex from Jurassic Park 3 so I could make this custom, and I noticed that that was a detail, and this at the front was a detail. All the like the lines and the dots, that was a detail that was noticeable in the CGI model. So I thought, okay, I need to add that. And I saw the base color of it was like a green, so I used a green color for it, like it's right here. I used some spring green and I put a few washes over it so it looks really dirty, which is a cool, unique look. Like, especially that jaw. Like, that jaw just looks incredibly dirty. Of course, the only problem with mine is that this foot is really loose. Well, this one, it's actually pretty tight. You can hear it squeaking. Another problem with this toy that I've seen is that sometimes when I've been opening the mouth, it tends to get stuck in the position. Currently, it doesn't get stuck because we have like a spray that loosens up joints. So it's currently not loose right now, but I suspect in the future it may become a little too tight again, and it may just hold in place like it used to. I left the eye and the ring around the eye the same because I thought that blended in really well. As far as the sculpt, this sculpt is incredible. Like, I love the Mattel T-Rex's sculpts, because, like, this sculpt is entirely accurate to that T-Rex. All you have to do is give it the color. Of course, as you see, it's got a neck joint. So, I do plan to eventually take this outside and get some pictures with it, because, like, I do sometimes do that with my dinosaurs. Like, I've done it with a Baryonyx, and I plan to maybe put those on, like, a little album where I can just see all the pictures of these things. The only problem I would have to really point out with this is that the feet look kind of huge, and that's also the same on the Raptor. Like, see, their feet look maybe just a tad too big. Like, especially when you look at the body of this T-Rex, you notice the feet might just be a tad too big. On camera, they look okay, but in real life, they look abnormally huge. But, like, Mattel have listened to our complaints about the Hasbro figures and how they cannot stand. Like, Indominus Rex, even though it doesn't stem from small feet, it stems from just an incredibly loose leg joint. But I gotta say, this is a good custom. Probably my favorite currently, because I've put a lot of work into it and I've really just highlighted a lot of detail on it. So as far as ratings go for all these guys, I gotta give this Raptor, like, I'd say a 9, because the colors are really accurate, and the feature is pretty good. And the sculpt on it that Mattel produced is really good. It just has a few problems, like with the quills. Ceratosaurus, I'm gonna give it... I mean, some of the sound effects were clearly a T-Rex. Like, there is clearly a T-Rex noise in there, and I know a few other people have pointed that out. So, Ceratosaurus, but the sculpt is amazing. It's just the feet. The feet just don't do it for me. So I'm gonna give it an 8. And this T-Rex, I'm gonna give it a 9. Because the sculpt is incredibly accurate, and the colors also look exceptionally good.